down. Let's grab this. Post on Discord. Sucks because it doesn't give me the link beforehand, but whatever. And just post the blue sky and then we're done. Then we can move on. Hello. Yeah, I'm trying to do this more often. I know I'm bad at it. I prioritize drawing more than streaming or doing time lapses. Alright, so let's move on with this page just so I can get it done. Then we can work on something else. Use you. Alright, there we go. Redial. Grab the yellow. And I'm probably gonna do yellow because I don't want to deal with all those lines. Okay. Forgot our eyelashes. Hope you're doing alright. Hello. Missed a spot. Yeah, I can see your chat. I should probably try adjusting chat on stream because I know it's kind of wonky. Let me see if there's anything I can do to it. Properties. Font size. So it looks kind of small, so let's buff it up a bit. Let's try 40. So let me type something. See how that looks. Yeah, that looks better. It's a little bit bigger. If I need to, I'll adjust it more in the future. And just so we don't have all this empty space, I will put the cover for this episode on the side. There we go. Now we got something to look at. No, it says praise the Bible. I know it's kind of mushed because I shrunk it or whatever I did to it. We don't have to do that one. We can do some tricks to that. Square, blah. Save me some time. Hello, hello. Oof. Are you on your way home, or are you on your way to work? Hello, yo. The conundrum. Is this a shoulder, is this her head, or hair? I'm gonna go with head on that one. Yeah, I have not gotten far on working on this. This is literally the first page. But that's okay. Once I start ramping up, then it won't take me long to get the episodes done. And it's mostly just because of how limited a lot of this is. And I've already done the math of how much time I would actually need. And like, the only thing that would slow me down a bit is just making new card art. But other than that, I can get this done by the deadline. But that's assuming I even move on to the next round. Like, that's like one of the reasons why I'm so slow on this, because I'm like, I don't want to feel like I'm just wasting time for something that's not even going to happen. But at the same time, I don't want to be entirely unprepared. So like, I think my mentality is that I'm willing to get like one episode done before they even announce who moves on to the next round. But after that, I'm probably going to wait and see what happens when the 23rd of next month comes up. Because at that point, we should know who's moving on and who isn't. And then that'll also save me the headache of working on another episode. No, I'm using a Wacom pad. Or tablet, whichever the ones these things are called. The ones with the giant screen that I can use as a third monitor. I assume these are called tablets. I just called them a pad because that's what they were called in college, so... Let's see, I need to grab your pajama clothes. What the fuck kind of comics I've been making? Well, this one is a card game based comic. But then, of course, there's the other stuff like I Had and Black Circus, which are all not safe for work comics. Which are primarily what I draw. It's not so much like not safe for work where like, oh, everything's gonna have sex and stuff like that or violence. It's just if I'm gonna do a comic or make a story of something I want to do or something I want to tell, I want to do it unhindered by bullshit. Because I'm tired of being limited based on everybody else's sensitivity. So that's why I prefer to make mature comics. Because it's like, alright, cool, it's a mature comic. That means if you don't like it, get the fuck out. Never safe from Waluigi. I always laugh because Waluigi and Wario are just based off of characters from Yadaman. And it sucks that we never got Wa-Peach. Although we did get her artwork leaked out. I can't remember if it was leaked or if they just like posted it. One of the two. Okay, that didn't take much. We just gotta do her mom's clothing. We'll put her in blue. Do her eyes. Basically a girl gets into the card game, meets some friends over, and then we just see her go from like a complete beginner to possibly pro player. And for the most part, like I want like at least the first arc of the story to be purely based on just the card game itself. So like, you know, buying packs, trying to figure out how to make her deck better, that sort of thing. And then later on, we can lean more into the whole supernatural stuff, or you know, like world ending or whatever crazy storylines that I can do. But primarily, I want like the first arc to just be purely the actual game, and not some like, oh, she's got this deck from some ancient box thing that she found in an attic because I guess her parents were part of some ancient tribal thing in the past and blah blah blah. Like, none of that bullshit. Like, I ain't doing that. Good evening. Hello. Hello again. Kind of like Pokemon training. Well, the game doesn't play that way if that's what you're asking. The game's like a mix of several game mechanics put together. But yeah, like I would just prefer the actual beginnings part of the game at least to actually be focused on the card game itself. And then we can do all the supernatural stuff. And even then, like even when I do the supernatural stuff, I still don't want it to be like, I don't want it to lean into like all of her efforts were like predetermined because she's like the reincarnation of something, or she gains like super powers or some bullshit like that. Like I want the main character's accomplishments to actually be her own. And yeah, of course there's gonna be like some slight, you know, Deus Ex Machina sort of things, where it's like, you know, obviously the cards she gets, I decide how what cards she gets and all that. But I also want it to be more like there's not a guarantee that her deck is always going to win type of thing. I want her to lose if, every once in a while. Like right now for her first game, like I'm still debating on whether or not I want her to win, because it can go, like the story can go either way. But I want her to like have some actual experience. So like I'm leaning more towards her not winning her first game, because obviously it's her first game. She should have a rough time, especially if she's playing against players who have been playing the game longer than her. And I also want her to mess up. So like, for example, in this game, hold on a second, I need to grab this page. So like, for example, in this game, even if you get like your high level powerful cards in the beginning, playing them early isn't exactly the best idea, because pretty much every card in this game costs basically your life points, to put it simply. Every card in the game costs points to play. And so if you're like too eager to cash out on your points early in the game, that might lead to you actually losing faster, because you'll have less and less points to defend yourself with. And so you need to have like a decent balance of saving your defensive and support cards, so that way, or saving like enough points to play them, so that way you don't get, you know, messed up later down the line. And then for the main character's case, she needs to understand archetypes, support, and setups. Because right now, like the cards that she got are one random pack and two starters mixed together. That's basically it. So she essentially only has 9 actual new cards, while the others are from from 2 starter decks. So the odds of her winning are not exactly guaranteed. There can be chances where she makes like a good decision, or makes an action that people didn't consider. But outside of that, she has like she literally has no idea what she's doing. So realistically, she shouldn't win. So I might put her in a scenario where it looks like she might come on top for her first game, but then I'm more likely to lean towards her, you know, still losing. But then she doesn't get discouraged easily. So, and like the players that she's playing against also want her to enjoy the game, so they don't want to like cause her to leave. So, like, one of the players, I want him to be like, you know, hey, I'll go easy on you because it's your first game, and then she's more energetic about it, so she'll be like, no, don't go easy on me, I want to learn. So yeah, like, of course she might get upset if something she likes or, like, whatever setup she had in the game gets, you know, ruined by something. But, you know, that's the whole point of her growing. So yeah, like, that's my main goal with this, is that I don't want her achievements to be bullshit. Well, I mean, they did that in Yu-Gi-Oh! Too. Like, there were episodes where they got packs and stuff like that in moments where they actually bought cards. But then all that kind of fades away, where you suddenly see them using cards that you're like, where the hell did that come from? And that's like another thing. I want it to be where I want to do stuff where she has like seemingly bad cards, and like they stay bad for the longest time, and you're just thinking, oh great, she's got that one card that keeps being either a misplay or like just simply not good, why is it still in her deck type of thing. And then eventually it comes into play where she's actually able to use it properly. So I definitely want something like that to come in, and that can just simply boil down to her just liking the card more than caring about a strategy. Because I'm sure there's people who have played card games, and despite making some kind of meta deck or whatever, they still have like the one or two cards in their deck that is just their favorites, and they don't want to take it out, even if it would definitely benefit them to take it out of their deck. They just simply don't, just because they like it. And that will definitely be her in a lot of cases. And yeah, we're gonna do that to this layer. Let's do a different one, or a different way. But yeah, and that's just her having, you know, beginner's bias. Like, she's not a pro, she's not a meta player, so you shouldn't expect her to be thinking that way. King of Cards. Haven't heard of that one, but I'll have to look for it. Well, yeah. In the original Yu-Gi-Oh manga and in the anime, the beginnings of the card game, a lot of stuff was just kind of made up on the spot, because a lot of the beginning of Yu-Gi-Oh was like trying to figure out if it was gonna play like Magic the Gathering or like D&D. So a lot of rules were just kind of like bullshit on purpose. And then it wasn't until like later down the line did the game become more and more refined. So it's just one of those situations. Because back in the day, you could like before the game came over to the West, there was a ruling, and I think it was like the very first rule of the game, where you could summon the monsters without sacrificing. Like, that was a thing. I'm working on a comic page for Webtoons. Wait, that's not the rules. Yes, it is. Roll my dice. But yeah, like, that was a ruling in the earlier, in the earlier versions of the game. It's like, oh, you could summon high-level monsters without sacrificing. But then, of course, that kind of defeated the point of having low-level monsters. So eventually, the ruling came of, you know, you need to sacrifice and all that. and then, you know, so on and so forth. The first 3 episodes of this comic is on Webtoons. It's called World Gates Ungard. And it's mostly for the contest that's going on right now. But so I can't upload any more episodes until the 23rd, but that's assuming I move on to the next round. If I don't, I'll probably upload whatever else I've made and then debate on if I'll continue it or if I'll just hold off on it until another time or until I'm done with the current comics I'm working on. But yeah. So right now I'm just kind of working on this just so I'm not like too far behind when they announce who's moving on to the next round. Because at least then I'll be like, oh, hey, cool, I got to move on, and then go from there. Yeah, this game is more like a mix of pretty much every card game that I played, really. Like, it kind of has some Pokemon elements into it, in terms of like certain abilities and stuff like that. Like, originally this game had names of attacks, but eventually I took those out because they were just taking up space for the card abilities. But I do plan on making cards that are like the attack names. And like they're supposed to function as like additional skills, so like once you play them they don't go away. Kind of like a emblem in Magic the Gathering. And that can go either way. Like either I can make a card that functions as the abilities, or there eventually could be like effects that gain the emblems and then go from there. So it could be both. Okay, and you know what? Let's also put this. Oops, wrong one. Let's also put this up here. And we'll change up how this looks for her. But yeah, at the very least, the beginning arcs of this, I would like to be focused solely on her learning the game. So that way, we can see her growth from being like a complete noob to and actually we'll just use a different one. Have I seen the Season 0? I mean, I read the manga, and Season 0 is mostly based off of it. There's obviously differences, but yeah, I've seen Season 0 as well. But yeah, like the manga is way different. Like the manga focused like on various different games. Ungard with an E. Hold on, let me see if I can post a link to it. Copy. Let me see if I can post it link. Here you go. But yeah, like the beginning of Yu-Gi-Oh! Was focused on several different games until it got to Duel Monsters. And that game was basically Magic the Gathering, but people were interested in it, and so they kept asking about it, and so they're like, okay, we'll make it into an actual game, and the rest is history. You're welcome. Blah, let's do that. Then we'll add this one. There's nothing special about it. It's just the main character's ace card, and it's like the cover card for the set that she gets it in. So it's just a strong card, and the whole point of the card is like the whole setup for the archetype is basically they're just entertainers, so they do a bunch of like magic shows, and so eventually the main character will get cards based off of that, and so she'll have like large setups and stuff of like a giant magic stage, and it's just to make everything look flashy, and then they all have like abilities based off of that. If you want to plug something, go for it. I don't know if YouTube will allow it on your end, but if you can, go for it. I don't know how many people will follow. But yeah, I'm not stopping you. I don't like that. Let's pick something with stars in it. But yeah, the Phantom White Rabbit is just her ace card. But she doesn't know how to. I mean, this is literally going to be their beginnings, so she doesn't know how to. Oops, I don't know how that happened. So she doesn't know how to use it. Copy. There we go. I was like, the hell? That looks nicer. Yeah, unfortunately I couldn't put lore on the cards as much as I wanted to. But I can always add in like lore bits, so like for example there could be like a separate thing to establish card lore. But for the effects, like the effects of the White Rabbit is that if you have 2 or more magical entertainers, it makes her level go down to 15, whether it's in your scrap, in your deck, in your hand, exiled, wherever. Like her level becomes 15, and then there's other effects that there are other cards that involve level 15, and then she gets benefits for being played while at level 15 or when she's blitzed. And then she also gives you card ramp. So not only does she add a card from your deck that involves magical entertainers, but at the end of the turn you get to draw an extra card. So if your magical entertainers can manipulate the top card in your deck, then she's basically giving you another card of what you want. And then the other magical entertainers basically set up the stage for either her to do something or for other entertainers. Okay, so there's all that. I still want to adjust this one a bit. Maybe I'll just tone it down. That seems fine. By Cromartie High School. I've never heard of that. Friend of mine working web series of Gatos, Falco High School. Well, that's interesting. Yeah, I hope it goes well for them. Okay, so did all that. Yep, view over house. There we go. Copy. I'll probably use it for probably should have separated these, but that's okay. Let's move it out just a bit more. There we go. I think on 80 should be fine. Yes, she is. She is rather thick. I do want Allison's mom to comment on that too, going like, good lord, she has, or well, not good. I don't think she'll say good lord, but she'll say my shit. She has large thighs, or she has big thighs. I might do some humor involving that. So like, can say like, if one of the card effects fails, maybe she like say she's supposed to do like a disappearing effect or something, like a disappearing act, but like she fails in like the attempt to do so. So like say it's like a coin flip effect, and she gets like tails, for example, then she could like mess up the trick and get stuck, and it's just her big thighs making her get stuck. That's thick with two C's. How does she walk? Normally. Or she can hop or float. And just gonna do this so I can shade some background stuff. How she walks seductively. I mean, with hips and thighs like that, and then I mean, there's gonna be some looking around. Be like, God damn, those hips don't lie. And then eventually I want to do an arc where all the characters cosplay in order to be more thematic with their decks. So Allison will wear like a black tux type of outfit to look like she's part of a magic act. Oh, that sounds interesting. She don't worry about the cold. But yeah, she'll be fun. Actually, I don't have to do that. I can do this. Aha. But yeah, there'll be a lot of learning curves for Allison when trying to figure out what works best for her deck. Let's tone it down a bit to like 30. But right now she's just excited that she has a super cool rabbit card. Well, hope you had a good. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it's relatively short. Like, this isn't normally how I like making comic pages, but because Webtoons is made to cater towards the whole scrolling thing, it is what it is. But under normal circumstances, I would do it the standard way. Yeah, technically that line should be over there, but I don't care. I want it over there. And now that I said that, I'm starting to care. So I guess I'll change it since I care enough to think about it. Just move it. There. Doesn't make much of a difference, but it is done. And that should be the end of all that. We'll do this one. Would there be an in-universe on-guard anime? Technically, yes. Because it's all based off of the other comic series that I do. But whether or not those characters actually appear is up in the air because I have to figure out how Webtoons would want to handle that. Because if the other characters end up getting locked to this comic in whatever way, then I'm gonna refrain from using them. So it's kind of depends on that. But I would say yes, there is a in-universe on-guard cartoon or anime or books or whatever the case may be. Random question: what are the origins of Vicky's design? I just wanted to make a character who was negative, and I like ducks, so I made her part duck, and then the other creatures that I made her be that are part of her are random nonsense that I just decided to throw together just because. But yeah, she's basically just a negative goth girl. And yeah, that's basically it. I made her so I could vent about bullshit, about me being annoyed of certain things. So like if certain people annoyed me, I had her to vent through if I felt like it. Didn't really need to do that, but but I made her anyway. So yeah, that's basically it. So if you think of the character Daria from the cartoon Daria, then there you go. She's basically that. She's like that mixed in with, I don't know, maybe a little bit of Tina Russo from Looney Tunes, but mostly Daria. So yes, that is the origin of Becky. Just me wanting to vent out about, I don't know, being annoyed by certain things. It's like, oh my god, why is this person such a fucking idiot? And then vent about it. Always make the best buns, bun girls. Yeah, I almost didn't make the main character a rabbit just because of Phantom White Rabbit. I was like, I didn't really want to like make her a rabbit just for the sake of both of them being rabbits. But I really liked Allison's rabbit design in the beginning when I was designing what character, because it was going to be a toss between a cat, a dog, and a rabbit. And I'd already made a cat villain character, and I didn't want to like be redundant on that. And when I thought of making Allison a dog, I was like, well, I don't want the cat villain versus a dog girl, because that just seems basic as fuck. And like, oh yeah, cats versus dogs, gotta have that. So I was like, okay, rabbit. But then I had already made Phantom White Rabbit, and I was like, I don't want to give her a rabbit just because they're both rabbits. So I just said, fuck it, whatever. This is what I like, and so I kept it the way it is. So it all just kind of dominoed into each other like that. So some stuff was just unintentional. It just kind of happened the way they happened. Okay, so got that. Now I just need her card. So yeah, it was a lot of back and forth on what animal Allison was going to be. I even thought of her being a bird, but some of it just didn't make well, not even make sense. It was just more like something just didn't seemed off with her being a bird. So I went with rabbit. Copy. Might have to manipulate this a bit to make sense. So I could have her tilting the card a bit. Not the best look for it, but... Or I could just have her holding it out of the frame. You know what, fuck it. I don't care. We'll do that. I'll just tilt it slightly just to emphasize that she's holding it. go. Yeah, she is kind of doing that, isn't she? And yes, I know there's details that I drew that will not show up, such as the back of these fingers, but I was like, I feel better drawing it. So there's this. Now for the weird part, because if I'm going to do it this way... Well, no. I was going to color the back of the card to be black to match the borders, but I was like, no, I don't need to do that. There we go. And aside from dialogue, the page is pretty much done. But yeah, this is just Allison the next day kind of fawning over her really cool card. And she has no idea if it's strong or not. She just thinks it looks cool. So yeah. Hold on, I do not speak Spanish. How cute is the comic? Or I assume you're saying that the comic's cute. Thank you. How vibrant. Yeah, I try to make it not too dull, because there was a time where I was like doling out some of the colors. But now I've leaned more into just keeping it colorful. Alright, so at least until after the dialogue's put up, we're pretty much done with this. So can move on. Don't need this up anymore. So I'll keep that open for when I put in the dialogue later. Or I can just close it for now, so that way. That way I don't have to have it open. New. that. Alright, so what can I draw next? I'll do more of that later. Who to draw, who to draw, who to draw. I already drew Nadine yesterday. I already drew a Creamfeld character too recently. I mean, that shouldn't stop me, honestly. Oh. Oh, thank you for the follow, Bakazui. Or follow, sub, whatever. So thank you for the sub. I forget that following and subbing are different things on different sites. I have no idea who I want to draw. There's too many. Screw it. Let's draw Bread. I haven't drawn her in a while. So put her over here. She's not too risque. Grab a reference pose just for the heck of it. Come on, Drive, wake up. Thank you. What do I want her to do? What do I want her to do? Oh yes, yes I am. Love Kamen Rider. Ooh, that's not a bad pose. We can put her in this. Over here. Favorite seasons? That is such a loaded question. That's honestly a hard question to say. But I will say I do like Decade, Gaim. Geats is definitely up there. Gov is already going to be in my like top 3 of like, oh, watch this if you're trying to get in the Kamen Rider. Let's see. Oops, wrong one. What's another good one? I liked Fi's. I mean, most of them are good, but like my favorites are definitely like Decade, Fi's, Gaim, Geats, Gav, Xaid. Double's actually pretty good. Kiva I like. Yeah, and then Kabuto's a good one too, and Ryuki. So yeah, I think those would probably be like my top ones. But yeah, like my personal favorites, like my favorite writers would probably be Decade, Fi's, Gaim. If I'm picking like side writers, then Gem. Gem is like definitely like one of my all-time favorite writers. He's just a complete crazy guy. It's funny because the actor that plays Gem also played or did the voice of Merrick from Yu-Gi-Oh! Alright, so I want her. she's a unique one because her eyes. So we'll do this way. But yeah, I think Gam is definitely like one of my favorite writers, just because I mean he's definitely top 5 because of how psychotic he can be. And I have most of his gas shots. The only one I'm missing is God Maximum. I have all the others. Not all the gas shots. I just have all of his gas shots except for God Maximum. Should probably clarify that. Like, no, I do not have every fucking gas shot. I would love to, but no, I do not have them all. Yeah, I almost used for my Rider cosplay. I almost used the bug visor with the with Tokimeki Bridle, but I was like, nah, I wanted to use the arc belt for the cosplay. Thank you. I want to make another one, but I'm definitely gonna wait a while before I do that again. Hopefully I can do a more full body one, because the only parts that I commissioned were the helmet and the armor. The rest is just a bunch of random costumes and pieces that I got from Amazon, and I put them all together. So yeah, only the chest plate, or the torso, the arm, the shoulder pads, and the helmet are commissioned. The rest is just random stuff from the internet. And some of that stuff I've had for like years. Like, I think, yeah, the only new thing, the only other new piece out of that whole costume was the undersuit, which is basically just Catwoman from Batman Returns. And I just got that recently, specifically for that cosplay. So yeah, a lot of that stuff is just stuff I've had over the years. But yeah, glad you like it. It was definitely not bad for a first time wearing it. Like, that picture was literally me wearing that outfit for the first time. And honestly, the only things I gotta work on is just learning how to look through the helmet easier, because I can either look through the holes on the eyes, or there's like the top part above the eyes that has like a bit of a gap that I can see through. So I just need to practice looking through it more often, and just kind of just roam around so I can get used to it. And then the other part is just getting different gloves, because I didn't like the gloves I was wearing, because I couldn't really grab onto anything, or not grab, but like grab certain things. And so I've already ordered like different gloves for it that fit more of the rider look, so I'll be getting those pretty soon. But yeah, other than that, everything was great. I enjoyed it. I'll definitely wear it again. I want to wear it again for Halloween, or events related to Halloween. Slim down her neck just a little. I should probably save this. My other comics can be found on like DeviantArt, For Infinity, Ink Bunny, and then of course my Patreon and Subscribestar. But yeah, here's a link to the DeviantArt at least. There you go. And there's just a lot. I am currently working on I have Volume 2 and Black Circus, which I'll be getting back into once I figure out what's happening with the Webtoons contest thing. I'm gonna have her carrying a tray of food before she takes her afternoon nap. Just draw her normally and then add the fat later. Bread is pretty thick in the middle. Hello. Hello again. Let you in. There should not have been a lock. I mean, I don't know what your circumstances were. Really, was that all of Tetris? Yeah, it was. Damn. YouTube wouldn't let you type. That's weird. Yeah, it's a little too far down, but we'll fix it. I bet. Thank you. Yeah, let's raise her leg just a bit. I just have a bigger following on YouTube in general, and I should probably just, you know, start capitalizing on that more. And for Twitch, it's just like Twitch to seem more like less likely to get seen, especially since there's not really a method that puts you out there more. And so with YouTube, because I already had people following me and stuff like that, I might as well just, and I was already uploading like my Twitch streams to YouTube, so it just seemed to make more sense to just stream on YouTube. I was like, why am I not doing this? Like, I'll probably still use Twitch for some things, like maybe like gaming. I mean, YouTube does that too, so I don't know. I'll find reasons to use Twitch. I'll still use Picardo because Picardo lets me draw the more risque artwork on a stream. So I'm thinking of starting to do that on Wednesdays again. But yeah, YouTube just made more sense. I can draw inflation. I don't have a problem with it. I've drawn it a decent number of times. I think the last one I did, was it the Daisy picture? Yeah, I just don't stream very often, so I'm trying to get back into streaming more. But yeah, like, I don't have a problem drawing inflation. Her ass should be way lower. I mean, technically her leg is lifting up her cheek a bit, but still, I think it should be a little bit lower than this. It's a bit of a... I mean, most of this we're probably not even going to see because of her tail, but I'd rather draw it first and then figure that out later. I mean, she can take this off. She can take off the outfit except for the shackles, but that's just because of lore reasons or story reasons. But I mean, nothing's keeping me from drawing her without them, so I can draw her whatever way I want. But yeah, like, I'll draw whatever, honestly. Obviously, there are some things that that don't gel with me. Not that the themes are bad necessarily, it's just they're just not for me, so I just don't draw them. But yeah, nothing against inflation. It just doesn't come up as often. And who knows, maybe I'll draw more of that in the future with like certain characters or something like that. Okay, let's chunk her up a bit. She's a little bit too thin. Probably don't need this here. I feel like this needs to be even more out. She just seems kind of thin. She's supposed to be thick bread. The lore. And there's more I want to do. It's just my time is a bit split on some things. Like I want to get back into animating. I've literally only animated like 2 or 3 things. I'm like, no, I want to do more. I want to practice more. And I also want to try to learn how to do live 2D, whether it be manually or with a program. But I haven't had a chance to learn it. I do have tutorials on how to learn some of it, but I haven't had a chance to put it into practice. Yeah, she can wear clothes. Just lore-wise, she has no actual life. She's made for a specific purpose, along with the other BLT team. But if I were like to draw her casually, yeah, she could wear normal clothes. Sure, like there's nothing against it. But if I'm going by story lore, she literally doesn't last long enough for that to matter. Ah. I wouldn't say it's sad. Like, she's really only made for a specific purpose, so there's nothing to be sad about. She's like, I mean, the most basic way to put this is she is basically a tool, along with the others. But nothing to keep me from just using her for casual fun like this. And plus, I treat most of my characters like actors, so like outside of stories and comics and stuff like that, they're basically just chilling, just doing whatever. Like if I wanted to make a joke, I could be like, "Oh, Marcy takes off her fat suit after she's done with her comics," and then there we go. She can, just do whatever. Cheesecake or cake cheese. But yeah, story-wise, it's one thing. Outside of that, they can do stuff casually. So basically, just treat it like that. It's like, all right, they're off the clock. They can go screw around. Hello again. Oh really? He did that. He did the same thing. Okay, so let's fix the curves over back. There's quite a number of ways I need to fix this. Do that, so this should be your actual back. We have that other part. And then we got our love handles. Pinch on this. And again, some of these details might be lost once we add our tail. It'd be funny if I just put the butterfly over here. It's like, is this born? This will probably be like this, based on her curves. I've been doing good. Just been pretty much doing the same thing I do every day. Try to take over the world. I mean, draw. Been mostly working. Yeah. Doing whatever we can to survive in this questionable world at this point. It's like, what are we even doing, guys? It's like me, I just want to draw and not worry about everybody else's bullshit. That's my only goal. And somehow that goal is very difficult. She is a snake. Put some raw over here. Can probably make like two versions of this, where one she's wearing her normal outfit, and the other one where she's wearing like a t-shirt or like a loose t-shirt. Alright, let's get her tail in there. Move her over just a bit. Welcome back. Well, the information is more important, such as location, year. There's probably like an ID number usually attached. Yeah, it's kind of like, you know, your place of birth matters. You know, it's like, oh, were you born in the country? Were you born somewhere else? Are we sure you're the age that you say you are? You know, that kind of thing. And then, of course, you know, Social Security. Alright, so how are we going to do this? She's got like thick squish on certain parts. Might have to just exaggerate. Well, most of my stuff is labeled anyway, so unless they make accounts and fake their age, there's nothing more I can do after that. And what I'm drawing right now doesn't even count as adult, according to YouTube's ruling. Maybe mature, but that's like as far as it'll go. And that's just a big maybe. And also, Bakugo, you have to be careful with your wording because you can get kicked from YouTube depending on how you talk. So just be wary about that. Like, I know you're role-playing right now, but I don't know how YouTube mod might see it. So just be careful with how you say things. Have to take into account that her tail is one of the thickest parts of her. It actually should be probably bigger than this, honestly. So I might tweak that in a moment. So let's see, probably like around here. It's not really dark humor, it's just kind of random, I guess. But if you do take it too far, you could get kicked, so I mean, it's up to you on what you want to do with yourself. This is a lot better. Can't close this, don't do that there. Let's fix chat box a little bit. There we go. This should be fine. It's still 11 over here. I mean, that's up to you. To me, 3 a.m. or 2 a.m. is still early. I don't go to bed until like, I don't know, 6:30 a.m. and then wake up at 9. So you do you. A few times. Sometimes well, I mean, I don't think any of it's actually intentionally, but sometimes unintentionally, where it's like, I did not plan for that to happen, but here we are. And it was like situations where it was like, oh yeah, it was like super freaking low. Da-da. There we go. That makes more sense. Thick ass hill. Alright. So got all that. Erase what we don't need. Oh yes, so do I. Song's a classic. You would realistically see it from single. Reminds you of Mario. Mario wishes it had these jams. Just saying. I have not established whether or not they have a mark on their back. Huh. That is something to consider. For now, I'm just gonna say no, because we have the shackles for that. Right now, Nintendo's a bit on my shit list for some of the nonsense that they've been doing. I mean, some of which they've been doing for years, but now it's just become way more asshole-ish. And anti-consumer. But I will say Nintendo has had good games in the past. Obviously can't deny that. But sometimes I think they're really full of themselves. Alright, have a good night. Take care. Oof, I have had to deal with bed bugs once, and trust me, that is not a fun time. And that moment when you realize you put the shackle on the wrong leg. Or the hook on the wrong leg. Yeah, anyway. That's what the Z button's for, but yeah. It goes on this leg. Luckily it's just a minor thing, like, I can easily fix it. I mean, it's already been fixed, eh? Who's that quick to do? There we go. This is the leg. Sonic has always had good music. There's only a few exceptions, but most of the time those are like under specific reasons. It's like, oh, this one we had to throw out all the good music or something, or this one it was on this platform, so good luck trying to have good music in those games. Again, this is such a deep question. If I had to really choose, I would say Sonic 3 and Knuckles has the best music. And yes, I say Sonic 3 and Knuckles because they're supposed to be the one game. And then I would probably say Mania has would be in second. If I'm going by modern games, I would say Sonic Adventure, Adventure 2, Colors had really good music. I mean, most Sonic games have good music. It's pretty much like the entire list, to be honest. Like, there's only like a very small handful of debatable bad songs, and then the only Sonic games that actually do have bad music are like either for the Game Gear or I would say Sonic Chronicles, but Chronicles is a special case. But other than that, pretty much every Sonic game has had good music. It's like, oh, what's your favorite Sonic song? And the answer would have to be yes. Okay, so that's... Yeah. Like, I especially like E102's theme songs, because if you combine E102 with E101's themes in sequence, then it's just this giant, long, really cool theme song. It's like one of the most peak soundtracks they have. Yeah, they've had really good main menu themes. Oh, you know what? You should have these on her back at least. adjust the chat box a bit more. Oh yeah, Spinball. There's an animation of somebody using that theme for Scourge the Tenrec, and she's just being annoying with it. Or not Scourge, Surge. I don't know why I said Scourge. I was thinking Surge, but I said Scourge. Scourge is a whole different character. But yeah, Surge the Tenrec is sitting there doing the theme song with her electricity, and she's just being annoying with it. Let me see if I can fix the background of this. Da -da -da. It's mostly just the background color I would like to not make transparent. Hold on. Let me see if this affects anything. No, this doesn't affect anything. Okay, I'll just put this back to black and leave it alone. If I have to make like a separate object to help make chat more visible, then I'll do that. But I'll save it for another time. All right, next song. Hmm. Let's see. To get a bunch of nachos. Big, thick cheese on top. And a fat ass drink. Hey, Frost. And fuck it, we'll put some ice cream in here too. And fries. You gotta have some fries with all this. Gotta have fries with that shake. Alright, have a good night. Or a good day. Yeah, she is cute. Okay, I think I got everything I wanted. little bit of her other boob. Bring her boobs just a bit. Would help if I put them on the same layer. Dark chocolate ice cream with caramel on top. Sure, why not? I just gotta remember to do that when I get to that point. Okay. So got that. Let's crop it. Just so we don't have a lot of empty space. About this much, just in case I decide to add a speech bubble. Do a short version of this. Just space for another item here, so we'll put a Blake donut over here with the carrot cake on top. There we go. I'm sure I could add more stuff to this if I really wanted to. Yeah, let's keep it down. Alright. Ah, yeah. And it would look like it'd be easier for me to do this, so that way I don't have to color so much of her markings. I would so play that, but I cannot. I will play this though. Oh yes, bread is a very thick loaf. Clean up this just a little bit. I am pushing my screen back gradually over time. Pull this forward. I need to clean my desk, shit, it's all messy. Crusty bumps. At least you know she's warm and fresh out of the oven. And she's themed after pretzel bread, so take that into account if that matters at all. Wonder Bread. Ha. That's a good one. Or put her in a polka dot dress. Need your eyes. There's a number of spots I should color in. I'll do that in a bit. Potato bread. Potato bread is good though. Let's let this one play again. Good, glad you like what you're seeing. Okay. Oh yeah, we gotta do your mouth. Oh, I can get many loot ideas from that I could probably draw as an art set. Oh yeah, I need to put her freckles. And these are pretty much random, so it's like whatever. She's got back freckles. Yeah, but they might as well just be called freckles. Because she doesn't have like actual salt on her. Although that would be interesting if she just sprinkles salt on her body just because. And she just tastes salty in those areas. It's like why do you taste good? And she's like, I don't know. Just got some on her butt. Mostly a family friend. No, it's not. I'm just saying you have to be careful with what you say because of YouTube. Hungry for some bread. You and the other thirsty part of my audience. Unfortunately, I can't go too far with the art on YouTube. Although nudity is allowed to a degree. Like, they do say it is allowed, but there's a limit to it. Yep, big ol' freckle butt. A little bit more over here. Okay. Spread them out a little bit more. Yeah, I need to do Picardo again. Maybe next week on Wednesday I'll do it. Yeah, it depends on the videos, because some of them technically can get away with being, air quotes, educational. But, honestly, that's not on us to worry about. That's on YouTube, if they get in trouble for it. So, not our problem. That'd be funny. Jam is like, Raz, where are you? I'm at Soup. What? I'm at Soup. Or no, like, I'm at the clothing store. It's like, okay, where are you? All I see is Soup. What do you mean you see Soup? And just go from there. It's like, go to a different aisle. Okay. There's just more Soup. What? Where are you? I'm at Soup. What store are you in? I'm at the Soup store. Why are you buying clothes at the Soup store? Fuck you. I'm gonna watch that later. Yeah, I'll definitely do that. No, it'd be funny if they have them do the soup meme and all that, but then there's like an actual character named Soup just sitting there chilling. I should make that sauce a different shade. That can also work if Jam is in the position. Like, she never goes clothes shopping, so she just assumes all stores are just exactly the same. Like the part where it gets to like, why are you buying clothes at the soup store? And that part just embarrasses Jam, and that's when she says, fuck you. Put like blush on her face as she comes to the realization that she's the one in the wrong. It's like, damn, Bread is eating better than all of us right now. Look at that spread she's got. And then Plum would be like, yeah, spread, what? What are you talking about? Alright, I'm gonna call it for tonight. I'm probably gonna work on this more a little later. And then if I get it done tomorrow morning, I'll post it. But yeah, thank you everybody for coming. I'll zoom out of this for a moment. So this is her so far. Still got more work to do. Nonsense, I'm never wrong. But yeah, thank you everybody for coming. I will post this later. I'm gonna, yeah, I'll stream again for Friday, same time. And yeah, I'll make posts for it so that way people are more aware. But yeah, thank you all for coming, and I will see you guys next time. All right.